What's up, and welcome to the Arthur Moats Experience. I'm Arthur Moats, and you know what time it is. We about to have another good one today. Combine is underway, man. Got some dudes, big dudes out here running right now, getting their 40 times off. Shout out to the fast guys out front. But we got updates, man, as it pertains to more meetings. In terms of, we're learning at least an idea of some of the type of players that the Steelers are considering, or at least have on their radar. So we definitely got to talk about that. When good old Jerry Dulac gets to talking and throwing out reports, we obviously like to react to that because he's one of those guys that is very, very close to the situation, and he has some interesting things to say specifically surrounding TJ Watt. So we'll obviously talk about that as well. Got some info on Roman Wilson. Shout out to Bob Labriola. We know who he worked for, so we definitely got to spend a little time with that one as well. And I think Najee has life, or maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure just yet. Shout out to the conflicting reports at times as well, man. But like I said, man, we have plenty that we will discuss today. And if the time works, man, do want to get first round mock draft up, man, on PFF, man. I'm gonna go ahead and tap into that today, man, to see some different scenarios and ultimately how we could be attacking that first round. And if the time is doing what the time is supposed to do at the end of the day, then we could definitely open up them phone lines like we supposed to do on a Thursday. But I am gonna say, baby, shout out to it being Thursday. It's been feeling like a Friday over here, man. I told y'all yesterday, wifey wanted more chill time. Wifey wanted more, hey, you need to be, you know what I'm saying, less grinding, working, and more, you know, quality time. Hey, man, shout out, all right? I'm all the quality time guy right now, all right? So, yeah, definitely been on super duper chill vibes throughout the day, though, all right? Certified lover boy, though, if you know what I'm saying, all right? Shout out to all the guys out there dating their significant others, all right? Married or girlfriend, make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do, all right? All right. But yeah, man, good energy today, good vibes. And now we get to come in here and rap. Get to come in here and talk about the guys, the gang, the black and the gold, man. The things that's fun, man. And, you know, unplug a little bit from the day-to-day, the grind. All right. So with that, though, man, let me think if I had anything on the front end, because I don't want to kill too much time in this thing on the front end. Like I said, you know, we got plenty that we're going to tap and get into. But let me know, man, what y'all got going on right now, man. What is everybody getting into on this here Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Junior? A little 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, where y'all located at. But more importantly, man, what y'all getting into right now, man? What you getting into? Drop it in the comment section. Shout out to Steelers Road Warrior. He says dope shirt Moats as usual. No, salute to you, man. Gotta have one to Tina Turner. I was missing my mama. All right, my mom passed away. You'll obviously know that. And you know, Tina Turner was one of her peoples though. Like, she rocked with old Tina. So I was like, you know what? Let me throw the Tina Turner shirt on with some fly kicks, of course, because that's how Mama Bear would tell me to do it. She was like, you better stun on them with your feet. So I'd be like, you already know. Say less. So figured I'd throw that on with the kicks, and now we get up here. Hey, cut it up one time. So let's see what the gang is up to. Okay. Jay Farrell says, getting into this here fire content. The homie David Dupree, aka DD Smalls, said he's working on the Moats website. Shout out to the arthurmoats.com. All right, not the Arthur Moats, just arthurmoats.com. We ain't the Facebook. Y'all know what time it is. But yeah, man, the homie David Dupree, man, he's the behind the scenes guy, but that's the dude that does a lot for the channel, man. And when you think about the direction of the channel, man, the support that we get, he is one of those dudes that's really the backbone to this thing. So y'all make sure y'all tapping on the website, arthurmoats.com. But of course, man, for my sneakerheads out there, like I said, man, you got to have fly kicks or at Kicking It with Moats. All right, that's the YouTube channel for that, for all my sneakerheads that want to just talk fly stuff. Y'all know how we do over there. And for all the social media crowd out there, Instagram is up and popping with the Arthur Moats Experience. All right, so if y'all checking out over there, man, y'all are seeing certain content, but also, man, just different updates about show times, because I know YouTube sometimes hate on y'all, don't want to give y'all the updates about when we going live and stuff like that. So you can get a lot of that info over there as well. And like I said, it's at the Arthur Moats Experience on Instagram. All right. But shout out. And I see DJ Lundy tapping in, watching the combine. Yeah, man. It's It's always fun, man, when the combine comes around. I get the nostalgia, but I also get that fresh feeling of, ooh, this is new blood. Who we got, man? Who's the fast guy? What we gonna do today? So, that's the vibe right there. No Limit Briss asks, ever thought about streaming on Twitch? Honestly, no. When I first got into the YouTube game, it really wasn't a Twitch scene. It was mainly YouTube was the main scene. So after, multiple years of getting comfy on YouTube, it was just like, man, I'm cool on YouTube. And from there, man, I've just gotten super duper comfortable with it. And I like, from my standpoint, just it's simple from a, creator standpoint, uploading, downloading, all the other type of stuff. Now, I know in terms of the monetization part as a creator, you can maximize and get more with Twitch, but I don't really do this for I'm trying to maximize my profits with this. It's more of it's fun to do. I like to connect. I also like the accessibility and how my kids and their friends and everybody, like my old, grandparents, stuff like that, they all have heard of YouTube and they all easily can access it. So that's the other part of staying on YouTube versus rocking out with Twitch. So think of it more of like a group decision in terms of, is it easier for everybody to get to, old, young, and in between, versus Twitch, where, for me, you do benefit more so that way. But I do feel like it's a little bit more of a adjustment and curve trying to get to some of that content, man. So like I said, that's the thought process for me. So that's why I rocks out with YouTube versus some of the other platforms that are out there. All right. And yes, Jay Farrell, the combine is on. Maybe better tap in, man. Learning about the new cats, man. Some of the future Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Some of the future young studs that we're going to be needing, all right? You got to get ready to load up that clip again. And these are the young fellas that are going to help us do just that. And James Skitka says, good to be listening to the Master Moats. Hope he has combine info for us. Well, I am definitely going to talk some combine because, like I said, man, we got multiple reports coming out of there, whether we are referring specifically to Omar Khan and some of the things that he's talked about, some of the different reports from Jerry Dulac surrounding the combine and what we're trying to do from an in-house standpoint. And then on top of that, we do got hard information about the players that the Steelers have officially met with. So, yeah. We're going to get into all of that, baby. Definitely will. But, man, let's get this thing rolling, man. Let's get this thing started. So, you know the drill. Drop it in the comment section where you are tuning in from. So that way, I give them big boy shout outs to start today's show. And, of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture. And subscribe if you are new to the channel. Come on, baby. You know what we on, man. Jaren from the Pittsburgh. I said Jaren Pittsburgh Steelers for life from the 559 Visalia, California. Shout out to Visalia. And always, yours stands out, man, because obviously that's where wifey's father was from. Obviously, you know how mother and father-in-law passed in the way that they did, man. So always think of you, Jared, whenever I see that Visalia. So I shout out to you, man. I salute to you on the front end. Brent Fox in Dallas, Texas, a.k.a. the 2144 show. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. Shout out. Shoot, man, I was just thinking about Dallas, man. I was working out. Yesterday I was working out, man. I was in between watching highlights, football highlights and stuff like that. And on YouTube, you know, they'll be throwing up the little hey, this video is about to play next. It popped up. It was like Yellow Beezy and Mo 3 Beef. I was like, oh man, I remember that story. Let me get up off of that though, man. I ain't want no bad energy on that day, all right? But shout out to Dallas though, man. Y'all stay active. It's always good energy though, man. I like it. I like it, man. Shout out to Dallas, man, all right? And Dante Leaf in the 215 Philly. Shout out to Philly. P.A.J. Cooler in the 405 OKC. Yeah, shout out to OKC. Believe that. And I do see the Don Hefe Quan always rocking out in the 323 Watts, California. And you know, I got to shout out the homie Kenneth Moses in the 757 Virginia Beach. And he says, Moats, who you picking at 21? Hey, we're going to get to that. All right, we got the mock draft. I'm going to drop a mock draft later today. Okay, we got the mock draft. Y'all going to be on while I'm doing it. We're going to talk through the process. Y'all going to see what I'm feeling. And we're going to hit that first round. All right, that's all we on today. We're going to get that first round in there. All right, so salute to that. Yeah, Brent Fox, Triple D, the dirty Dallas. I can dig it, man. Yeah, man, when that thing popped up, I was like, whoa. I seen a whole bunch of just, it looked real active in the background on the picture. I was like, yep, shout out to Dallas, though, man. Dallas, y'all be turned in Dallas, man. Y'all be turned. I like it, though. 900 juice in the 310. Shout out to the 310. And then let's see. Oh, Pittsburgh Toddy in the 520. Tucson, Arizona. Shout out to Tucson, Arizona, man. Big time love for my AZ people out here. Like I said, your boy spent a little time out there at AZ. I spent a little time out there with it. But I'm gonna do this the simplest way possible because we have a lot of info that's about to just be covered under the combine umbrella. All right, so I'm gonna just go down the list as we get to talking about it. All right, so first thing I did want to speak on though was TJ Watt, man. We did get some updates, man. Jerry Dulac, he was I forgot who he was speaking to directly, but from his reports, man, he was specifically asked if a TJ Watt contract extension, does he think that could be happening? And does he think it could happen, before the new league year, which is starting in 2 weeks? And he said, it's a pretty good chance that does get taken care of. And obviously, man, whenever you get that type of, comment, and obviously from a guy like Jerry, who I tell you personally, like, he knows his stuff because he is around it. And that's why a lot of times he's usually closer to the right answer than not because of who he's around. And I know the dude he be around. So I'm like, yeah, bro, you know a lot. All right. You locked in. So with that, though, man, in terms of TJ Watt, we obviously know this is the dude that just finished up as a finalist again for a Defensive Player of the Year. Right. We obviously know he won it before, but this year, man, finishing as a finalist for the second time now, for another time. Now here we are, and we obviously had the conversation about, where we felt we would be wanting to go roster-wise earlier this offseason, right? When the season ended, it was like, yo, we're all in the heart of it emotionally. We hot, we heated, and it's like, hey, bro, man, I don't like this, man. We need to go ahead. I don't want to trade him, but restructure, man. Take some of that off of him. Then we had other people like, hey, man, why don't you just trade TJ, man? It's no use in keeping him here. It's nothing good going to come from it. And for him, you're wasting his time. Then we saw Myles Garrett at one point ask for a trade request. And we're like, man, all right, is TJ going to be next to do that same thing? But that wasn't the case. So we did like that. But now, obviously, when you're talking about the extension element of it, that's what gets intriguing for multiple factors here, right? When you first talking about TJ, we know the big thing with his deal was he going to get 30 per year or not? And we saw right where he landed, right at that number, right? But that set him up to be the highest paid defender in the history at that time. We know it was probably a week later when Nick Bosa went ahead and got the new highest paid deal, and then he was the highest paid guy of all, highest paid defender of all time. So part of that, I think, of the timing, because who do we know is coming up on new deals? Micah Parsons, for certain, in Dallas wants a new deal. We know that's the big deal that's looming. And then Myles Garrett, we know he was talking about a trade request, but the Browns have said they don't want to trade him. And then more recently, I think it was today, I saw where Myles Garrett said, as long as, they make him what's it called? A generational contract offer or a historical contract offer or a contract extension, that he would be open to staying. So you know what that means. So as it pertains to these pass rushers, there are about to be two other big fish that are about to try to reset this market. So the way it typically works, if you're the organization, he who sets the market first wins. Okay? He who sets the market first wins. When you set the market first, if you're TJ Watt right now, you can go out there and get him a deal for $38 million, which sounds like a lot for a non-quarterback position. Yes. And it would be an upgrade off of TJ's current pay grade. Yes. But when you look at TJ's body of work, you look at the accolades, you look at where he most recently did this past season, even on a quote unquote down year for him, he still was a finalist, right? Defensive Player of the Year. So when you throw all of those factors in, another team would pay him close to 40, maybe even more. So if you could get his deal done on the front end at 38, now that puts more pressure on the Myles Garrett camp, depending on if it is still in Cleveland or elsewhere, to up that number past 38. Now you got to pay 39 or you got to pay the 40. Now, whoever gets that deal done, the last person is who? Now you got Micah Parsons. Now you got to give him the big boy deal. And if those guys are getting 38 and 39, he's going to want to top that. So that's why I say he who gets the deal done first wins, because in this scenario, those other two dudes, man, are going to try to push that number and reset the market. And once that happens, it changes how we can negotiate with the TJ Watt. Unless TJ out the kindness of his heart is just saying, man, I'm going to take this number and I'm not going to go above that number. But the way agents work are, hey, when we saw the last negotiation with TJ, mainly because we got some backstory information, right, about guarantees outside of year one. It was a big sticking point, but the Steelers did change that rule for TJ. Shout out to TJ, because he liked that and he deserved it. But if that is the case this time, it's like, man, the longer we wait to get that deal done, the more, number one, it's going to cost us, but also the longer it could play out. And those are some of the things, man, that I'm thinking of when I saw the report from Jerry Dulac that, yeah, the Steelers are, more than likely going to be getting a deal done with TJ to extend him. I'm like, I'm all good at 37, 38 M's. Get it done first, though. Don't allow Myles Garrett to get his deal done because he's going to come in around 39. He's trying to get 40. Don't let Parsons come in first, all right? Because they trying to get around 39, 40, and that puts it back on us to be paying that. And we know even with the cap increase and record number now, $279.2 million is what the cap has ballooned to or will balloon to. So for the Steelers, as we currently sit, we're right at about $60 million, and that's prior to us doing anything additionally, all right? Contract extension included. Depending on how much we do signing bonus wise, you could even create a little bit more breathing room, man. So now, as I'm sitting here, I'm just like, we don't need to wait. Let's get it done. We know who TJ is as a player. We know we have an excess of salary cap space, so we can get his deal done and still feel good about whatever we're trying to do elsewhere if it's one of these quarterbacks, because even with that, it's getting kind of wild right now, man. When I'm seeing some of the reports, it's like, all right, 1 minute is Russ, 1 minute is not Russ, 1 minute is Fields, 1 minute is not Fields. It's a lot going on with these quarterbacks, all right? But we're going to talk about that. But that's the thing for me, man. With TJ, I'm like, when you got generational players, when you have marquee guys, top 3 dudes at their position, you get that deal done. You don't allow those dudes to play into contracts where there's no guarantees remaining, or you allow those dudes to get disgruntled to the point where now they're asking to be traded. TJ has been a heck of a player since joining this organization, both on and off the field, and there is no inkling of, yeah, man, this is about to age terribly, man. Don't give him no extension. Now, I ain't saying give him a 5-year deal. I ain't saying that. But the same way we looked at Cam, man, the extension prior to this one, I'm over here in the same kind of thought process and like, yeah, let's go ahead and get you another 3-piece on this real quick. Let's keep that thing rolling. And then after that, man, we can reassess. We can see where we're at with it. But to me, man, you want to keep TJ here. You want to keep TJ happy. And we are a better team with TJ than we are without him. I know some people are on the notion of, man, trade TJ, get as much back as you can with assets before signing him, and then roll with Nick Herbig and Alex Highsmith. As much as I am a fan of Nick Herbig and Alex Highsmith, I do feel that their production would take a little bit more of a hit if you completely remove TJ Watt from the building. I'm not talking about TJ Watt missing time. I'm not talking about TJ Watt having a quiet game. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm saying if TJ Watt's not on this roster, I think those guys are impacted in a negative way, man. TJ is a heck of a player, a generational pass rusher, generational talent, arguably one of the best pass rushers that ever come through the black and gold. I mean, you could, because he is that guy, all right? Statistically, at least. So with that, I don't feel like, man, we should be looking to try to cut corners or save costs and not do a deal with him and try to move on from him. I think he still has plenty of juice left in the tank, and he doesn't even talk like he's looking to retire or anything like that. So that's why for me, man, I'm big time team TJ. And then it doesn't even count that I'm biased on top of that because, like I said, I seen him rookie year. That's the locker dude. Come on in here, little dude, man. Let's get to work and watch this dude shine, man. So with that, it's like, yeah, man, I'm loving every bit of how he has been aging, and I don't see him slowing down, man. And I think that he's one of those true staples, one of those true black and gold guys, man, that represent the organization the way that you wanted to be represented. And you just got to rock out with the homie, man. So I like that report right there from Jerry Dulac. Shout out to him. And if y'all are liking that energy as well, you already know the drill. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. But yeah, Craig Ellis, I'm with you. Trade what? Trade who? Absolutely not. Whoa, hey now. I had my head down. I was on my other page and I didn't even see this. Hey, man, y'all supposed to have warned me, man. Jeez Louise. Let me stop the show real quick. I ain't see the homie Sequoia Harris dropping 50 balls in here like that on Friday Junior. Shout out to the 50 ball by Sequoia Harris super chat. Big boy. We do appreciate you from the heart, man. He says, what is it, OG? Looking fresh like always. I see you, my guy. No, salute to you. Salute to you. It's about that time. I'm popping the question next month. Whoa. I'm popping the question next month while in St. Martin. Man, I'm nervous as heck. Pray for me. Any advice for me? Finally, Mom Love is proud. Oh, finally, Mom Love is proud of you, Mama Moats, and Jesus is love. Now, salute to you on that, man. And for certain, man, that is the one thing that I will say was the benefit of, how everything ended. Did get a chance to hear her tell me that she was always proud of me, man. So for certain, man, that definitely, was one of the blessings in disguise in that situation, man. But dude, popping the question, getting ready to get married. Meet me at the altar in your white dress. Hey, let's get married. Hey, man, you about to have me go down there and kiss wifey real quick, man. Y'all know I'm team love. I love love. All right. Anybody that knows me, I love love. So, Sequoia, what I will say is this, man. Be transparent. Be vulnerable. Leave the pride and ego over there. All right. Marriage, relationships, about communicating, it's about compromise, about give and take. All right. Simple as that, man. Simple as that. All right. You start losing that, or you start feeling like, man, I can't be wrong, or she can't be right. Then yeah, that's usually where that tension really starts to hitting. It can make things real uncomfortable and awkward, man. But as long as y'all communicate, as long as you're transparent, and as long as you leave that pride and ego over there, and we both are on the same team, and we got the same common goal, which is until the end of time, then y'all gonna be all right. All right. So that's the vibe. That is the vibe. That's the vibe. But it's okay to we don't see the same perspective at times. It's all right, man. Be a wife, be like, hey, babe, I love you. You love me. It is what it is. Like, we just see it differently. It's all right. It ain't got to be no, you wrong, or it's me. No, it ain't got to be all that. It ain't got to be all that, baby. So that's the vibes, though, man. But I'm happy as heck for you, man. So early congrats on that, and definitely enjoy St. Martin for sure on that one, baby. Let's get it. All righty. So let me see. We got some other super chat action popping off on the front end. Richard R. Beasley, you out of pocket. Yo, man, say Steve Smith ain't rocking with that super chat, though. Let Steve Smith chill, man. Every time I see selfies or I see light-skinned cats with scullies on their head right now, the little beanie caps, I'm just like, Steve Smith. Got y'all boys down bad right now. Man came out there with a full band suit on. Like, bruh, what is you doing? You ain't even trying to hide it. Between Steve Smith in the full band uniform, hot stepping out there, and they going, Emmanuel Ocho, this is the woman. Physically wonderfully made. I'm just like, bro, y'all out of pocket, man. All right. I'm going to need y'all to stay professional in the workplace. That's what I'm going to need. Okay. Stay professional in the workplace. Jeez. But anywho, man, shout out to Richard R. Bezo, man. Shout out to Richard R. Bezo and Craig Ellis, man. I'm glad that I was able to help you out while you was in the airport, man. Nothing like being in the airport, man. It could get real crazy and get real hectic out there, man. When you traveling, and all it takes is TSA to look at you the wrong way, or somebody to be like, hey, man, no, I'm in line first, and before you know it, bags done drop when you're ready to set it off, all right? So keep the energy right. I'm glad to be the calming presence in your life right now, all right? But shout out to you, Craig Ellis. Shout out to you. Like I said, not like that travel life, man. I've been trying not to travel. Shoot, man. I was so glad I didn't have to go out to Indianapolis this year. I was like, yep, I could just sit in the house, stay with wifey, don't got to go anywhere. Whew. Cause yeah, that travel is definitely how you turned up, man. And how you over here like, what you looking at, bro? Yes, I'm traveling. Yes, this my bag. Yeah, you want that seat? No, that's my seat. That's her seat today. You get real aggressive, man. I can dig it, man. I can dig it. But let's see. All right, man. We got a ton of upper room action going on. So shout out to Steelers Love. Shout out to John L. Of course, the homie Malvo does it. AJ Martinez, who dropped not one, not two, not three, not four. Whew. I did get that right. 4 upper room memberships as well. So to those individuals that AJ paid it forward to AJ for being a rock star at life, Malvo does it, John L. and Steelers Love. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's get it. Shout out to y'all, man, joining the gang. And like I said, man, also upper room members, don't forget, man, you do have early access to the Peyton Wilson film, Master Moats film session as well. All right, so make sure you're taking advantage of that. New upper room members, man, tap in. All righty, let's see who else do we have in the building. AJ Martinez also says, shout out to the Steelers Road Warrior. Love to all. Now, big facts on that, baby. Big facts on that. All right, and then we also have Ethan Leach. He says Myles Garrett, or I'm assuming he's saying Myles Garrett, agent shut down a return to the Browns today. I mean, we will see how it goes. Agents talk a lot. They're lawyers. You know, that's what they do. So they're going to say certain things, but I can assure you, if the Browns make him that offer that Myles Garrett is referring to, that agent will be the same person smiling, talking about, yeah, it was new information and we were able to get the deal worked out. And I'm glad everything worked out. Myles Garrett wanted to be a Brown his whole life and he never wanted to go anywhere else. All the other stuff was just negotiation tactics. That's how that goes, man. So that's the reason why I will say, man, that I do acknowledge that, yeah, the agent did say that, but I also acknowledge the fact that the Browns have said that they are not trying to move him and they have no interest in moving him. So you know how that go, man. And the almighty dollar is the deciding factor. A lot of times with these things, man, disgruntled employees, when you pay them that bag, that change up on you, all right? And that could be a good thing. So we'll see how Myles plays, but Myles could also just be like, yo, I'm sick of the situation. I don't want to be a part of it. And I just want to change the scenery. The problem is, though, the Browns still have to green light the trade and where and when he would move. So that's the tricky part with that. I have seen some of those reports where they're saying that the Browns should try to include Deshaun Watson in the deal and make it a package deal where you got to take Watson with Myles Garrett. So that way they can clear off the books on Deshaun Watson's contract if they're going to be moving on from a player like Myles Garrett, a generational type of dude, man. Now, to me, I'm like, yo, that messes up the whole trade. And I think you make every team in the league not want to trade for Myles Garrett if you're going to make them be a package deal, being Myles Garrett and Deshaun Watson in that atrocious contract. No, thank you at all. But shout out to them dudes, though, man. Shout out to those dudes. All righty. And then we got Richard RB. So he says 5 players to watch this combine, any position. So I do like the question. My problem is I could name you 5. I just don't actually know if they got the invite to the combine or not. So let me look up the official combine list and then I might be able to shoot you a little bit better that way. All right. But I say, because, yeah, the dudes that I'm going to want to see, man, you've kind of heard me talk about them. I mean, I'm big just on my running backs and D linemen right now in terms of, I was going to say just running backs and D linemen, but I also got some receivers I want to see. So, all right, let's see. 5 guys that I want to see at the combine. 5 guys that I want to see. I will first start out with Amarion Hampton. I think that he's a guy that I want to see based on speed. You look at him at UNC, I thought he was ultra productive down there. I love the size that he plays with. I also think that he is a nice younger version of Najee Harris. When I look at Najee Harris, what he's done with us in the Steelers uniform, and I look at Amarion Hampton, I see a lot of similarities, body type wise, running style wise, and I think that Amarion has a little bit more juice, but I need to officially know that, and I don't all the way know that just yet, because at times I still do see him, get caught on tape. And what I mean by get caught on tape is when he's in the open field and he's breaking away, guys have been able to run him down from the backside. And typically the rule of thumb is if a dude's getting ran down, at the collegiate level, then typically when you get to that next level where the guys are even faster across the board, you don't view those guys as home run threats. And that's why when you look at the NFL, I mean, how often do you see guys scoring 60, 70-yard touchdowns? Running the football, not a passing touchdown. A passing touchdown is different context, different set of rules. But how many 60-yard rushing touchdowns? I think Saquon had a handful of them, right? And I think that might have been the main person we talked about. Other than that, you're like, all right, he got a 40-yarder over here. But you don't see a lot of just dudes just going on guys, because at this level, everybody is so fast. So, like I said, Amarion Hampton will be the first guy that I would say. Next guy I would go with after Amarion. All right, I'm going to name another running back, and then I'll go a couple different position groups. So Amarion Hampton is the first guy I want to see. I would also want to see... Actually, I want to see Travion Henderson as well, man. I feel like the two bigger backs, I want to see them run. Ultimately, the reason why I want to see Travion Henderson run as well is similar concept, man. I think that he is another big body guy that fits the Najee Harris profile. And if I'm willing to move on from Najee, I still want to figure out a bigger body bruising type to complement my Jaylen Warren. So when I look at Travion Henderson, I feel like I can get that out of him, but I also want to see how fast is he straight line. On tape, you watch him and he can go. But I just want to see what that actually is, or is it fool's gold, man? But to me, I like his game. I think he has really good contact balance. I don't feel like he's the best laterally, but I feel like, man, when he decides to put a foot in the ground and get north and south, he's tough to tackle. And like I said, man, he can go the distance, at least at the collegiate level. So he's one of those guys that I would also be checking out as well, man. So those are the two running backs, right? Amarion Hampton, Travion Henderson would be the two guys there. Let's see, because I got three other guys to name. Probably going to go Luther Burden, right? I like his game. I want to see how fast he is, though. I think he can fly. Like, I love how short area quickness. I think his hand-eye coordination is top-notch, and his run out the catch is high-end. So he is another one of those guys that I would want to see, man. Like I said, Luther Burden. And then the other guy's Emeka Egbuka. Why? Because, man, he's silky smooth, but number one, he's probably not going to run at the combine because he's probably wait till the pro day like some of these or a lot of these higher-end guys do. But Emeka Egbuka, the reason is, man, we heard all about Marvin Harrison Jr. last year. You heard all about Jeremiah Smith this year. And it's like Emeka still was ultra productive. Like I said, worked and cooked out of the slot and ran away from guys. But I still want to see, because it's like when you watch the unicorns that he's surrounded by, it does make you wonder, like, all right, are you just as unicorn or are you just like a regular version? So he's the one that I want to see also run out of that room, man. So Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson, Amarion Hampton. And then let's see, one final guy that I would want to see or that we should watch for at the combine. How about actually for my eyes, I want to see Walter Nolan, and it's going to be weird. I don't even want to see the on-field running. I low-key want to see what this bench press talking about. How strong is big fella, man? Because like I said, when I watch him on tape, I feel like he's strong, but at the same time, he looks a little bit smaller compared to some of the other guys that I've brought up, right? The TJ Sanders, the Kenneth Grants, the Mason Grahams of the world. But to me, man, when I'm looking at Walter Nolan, I'm like, yo, the dude, he's productive. Like we talked about him last night. in terms of his ability to split defenders, man, versus the run, the urgency and the motor that he plays with, his change of direction. I think he does a lot of that really well. But I want to see, man, what the bench going to look like, man? What the bench going to put? You put 25, 30 other names up, man? How strong is your strong? All right? Because we know, like, when I see undersized guys, I think Aaron Donald. I'm not saying Walter Nolan is that. But when I think of undersized guys, I think of AD, and AD was one of the strongest cats out there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm curious about that part. But those would be the 5 that I would say that I would, be watching out for in the combine this year, man. Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, Luther Burden, Emeka Ibuka, and Walter Nolan. All right. So shout out to that, man. Heck of a question by you on the front end, man. I had to do it off the top of my head too, huh? Hey, I ain't even prepped for that one right there. Shout out to Richard R. Bezo, though. Hey, I like that. All righty. And then we got Tito with the good vibes, paying it forward, gifting an upper room membership to Brian Q55. So shout out to Brian Q55 and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, all right. Sombra says that Kenneth Grant said he's hitting 30 reps. Bro, 30 reps. You're a man child. God, dog. He got a chance, though. He built for it. He definitely built for it. But that's the type of talk I'm trying to figure out, man. You got to be stronger than mine. All right. I need you in them 30s. I want to see the big boy lifts. All righty. The homie Q Vera showing a little love. Also, he says running back Caleb Johnson from Iowa is the answer. Has to learn better pass pro, but bro is a guy. No, shout out to Caleb Johnson. I like Caleb a lot, man. Silky smooth running, man. Love his change of direction. Love his vision, short area quickness, ability to take it all the way the distance. Yeah, I like all of that. You brought up the pass protection. I'm always back and forth with young guys in their pass protection coming out of college. A lot of them dudes suck at it because they've never been asked to do it at any stage. Why? Because they've been the nicest running back at every stage. Typically, by the time they get to us, they've had to kick a lot of butt. Even the Jalen Warrens of the world, right? A guy that was an undrafted free agent still ran for 3,000 yards in high school. You're like, bro, in a season you did what? How do you run for that many yards in a year? But that's the type of thing, man. It's like everybody comes from all these different places, big, small, and they've kicked so much tail. So by the time you get here, it's like, yeah, man, when have you been asked to be the blocker? When have you been asked to not have the ball in your hands? When have you been asked to not be the guy? So that is the part that those guys have to learn. And that's why you hear the drill, backs on backers. Coach Tomlin puts a lot of emphasis on it because he understands that right there. In order for a Caleb Johnson to stay on the field, in order for a Caleb Johnson to thrive and be the type of player that we think he is capable of being, he has to improve there. But I look at guys like Le'Veon Bell and what they developed into. I look at a D'Angelo Williams and what he developed into from pass blocking. Heck, you look at Jalen Warren and what he's also developed into from a pass blocking standpoint. That comes from the repetition. That comes from the intentional focus that the Steelers put on it. And I think that Caleb Johnson would benefit from that as well. And that would ultimately just help him out, man, along the line. So I like Caleb Johnson, man. You brought up the pass pro. My other thing that I will say is ball security. He has to, make sure you keep that rock the way it's supposed to, man. But other than that, man, I like his game a lot, man. I think that he's definitely one of those dudes. To me, honestly, he gives me Aaron Jones. And I said ball security on him. I'm thinking about Dylan Sampson. My apologies on that. But what I will say with Caleb Johnson, he reminds me a little bit of Aaron Jones. Like when you watch his running style, that's the guy that he kind of puts me in the mind of. And Aaron Jones obviously was in Minnesota this past season, was in Green Bay for a couple of years prior to that. To me, I think he has a lot of similarities in his game to how Aaron Jones runs now. And you obviously know, man, a couple of years ago when Aaron Jones was a free agent, he was one of the guys that I was very intrigued about us getting. I think that was the year we actually ended up drafting Najee. But Aaron Jones is definitely one of them dudes, man. He nice with it, man. So when I think of Caleb Johnson as the comp to that, yeah, I like it a lot, man. Definitely like that. Excuse me, I got hiccups in this joint. All right. Shout out to the homie Farron Bradford. Farron Bradford says, Jaden Blue, running back from Texas, could be a true steal home run threat and make you miss. Now, respect on that. I am familiar with the name. I actually do want to go watch more tape on him, though. All right, so I'm not going to give you a ton of that just yet, but I will go back and watch some more on him. I was actually watching Matthew Golden earlier today, man. Him and Quinn Ewers, of all people, right? And you know how it goes, man. It's combine season, baby. But yeah, I was watching those two dudes more so I will go back and watch more focused on Jaden Blue, though, to kind of get, you know, your thoughts, or not to get your thoughts, to kind of see what you're seeing on that. So let me take a picture of that. Boom. All righty. But yeah, man, when I think it was with Omar Khan, right? When he was talking the other day, he talked about how deep this running back class is. It's a lot of backs, a lot of talented guys. And I know part of that is going to be, well, man, why bring Najee back if you got that type of, confidence in these dudes or in their ability? And it's not that we don't have confidence in Najee. It's just, I got a ton of confidence in Najee. But when you're seeing some of these other younger guys, you're just thinking of different ways that you could go about building your roster. It's not an indictment on anyone, but if you're not going and processing the different ways of how it could work, pros and cons to that, are you really doing your due diligence? Are you really doing everything within your power to put out the best roster? I mean, we saw the report cards the other day, right? We want to make sure that we are getting passing grades as consumers, as fans, in terms of how we go about building the roster up. So let's make sure we're doing our part. All right. Hopefully the organization will also do the same thing. All right. All righty. And then let's see. S. Dresden showing a little love as well. And he says, let's see. Rooney is Fredo. Tomlin is Mo Green. All right. I'm digging. I think you're giving me some Godfather references. So I'm going to just let it live. Let it leave. But shout out to the gang, man. Shout out to the guys, man. And hopefully we get the things that we're looking for, man. But you already know the drill. Hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I don't even know why I took this graphic down. I should just left it up and just kept this thing up here the whole time, because like I said, man, this is where we're gonna be like residing for a little while today. All right, but I know y'all rock with me, so shout out to y'all, or shout out to Yins. All right, because sticking with the combine and some of the news that is coming from there, we have also got some reports about the Steelers and their interest in Najee Harris returning. We've been waiting. We've been trying to figure out, man, what's that looking like? Is there any intrigue? And at one point we had got a report that it looked like the Steelers were going to be completely moving on from Najee Harris, right? No interest or nothing there to really go on. But as of today, Jerry Dulac had went out there and he basically said that the Steelers did have a meeting with Najee Harris's agent. And on top of that meeting that took place at the combine, Coach Tomlin also appears to be one of the main guys that is in support of Najee Harris coming back next season. So when we think about what that means or what that entails, when we were, earlier hearing some of the reports about Najee, it was more so, or I guess we weren't hearing a lot of reports about Najee. We got Omar Khan just really talking up this running back class, and the way that he spoke on Najee's 4,000-yard season, it made it seem as if, it was more so, man, this is what he has done, and, we appreciate what you've done, but we're looking at these younger guys and we're excited about that. And I can understand that when you think about some of these names. I mean, you've heard some of the guys we just talked about just then, and that doesn't even bring up Ashton Jeanty, who, some people think he's really, really good. Others have questions on him. But either way, it's another option nonetheless, right? But with that, though, to know that Najee is still a part of the conversation, is still potentially a part of the long-term plan, that is intriguing. Why? Well, number one, I'm a fan of Najee. I like his game. I like the consistency, the production, and the overall toughness that he brings. I think that he is a huge part of our just overall black and gold identity. We are a physical, hit you in the mouth football team, and Najee, to me, offensively, is the poster boy for that. I'm not saying that we want that exclusively, though, and that's part of why Jaylen Warren coming back is pivotal. Drafting one of these younger guys, also pivotal. I mean, I don't care if Najee come back, Jaylen Warren, you're back, and we still go get Amarion Hampton. We still go get you a Caleb Johnson, man, or maybe let's see, who go down the list, right? Maybe it's an Ali Gordon. I know people been liking him. We met with him actually, man, so we'll talk about that as well. Or maybe it's a Devin Neal from Kansas, right? But whoever that third guy is, you can more than likely find them in the draft, and they probably gonna be at the combine, man. So that's the part for me that I'm like, yeah, if we're bringing Najee back with Warren and that other option, I still love it. I still think it's a great idea, and I don't feel like it hurts us. And in fact, I like the thought process because it keeps us from creating another hole. Now, everybody has different beliefs of how easy it is to fill these holes and, you know, how quickly we're going to get the return on investment. But sometimes it's just cool to not have to worry about creating a new hole, a new issue, a new concern. Sometimes it's cool to just be like, all right, we know what this is. Cool. Let's focus on some of this other bigger picture stuff. So that's the part for me that when we're talking about Najee and the Steelers being in contract extension talks, I like that. Now, obviously, we will see what that number looks like because, yeah, if the number isn't doing what we're supposed to do, yeah, you could just be talking all day, but we ain't working with that. That ain't gonna happen, all right? So that's the vibes with Naj, though, and the talks with the Steelers. Now, we have been getting some, like, mixed reports about Russ as well, man. Like I said, at one point, man, they were saying that Russ was done. He was out, man, heading to the streets, right? And it was the focus on Justin Fields, if he was going to be the guy or not. Well, then today, it started being reports shifting back saying that, all right, the team is back looking at Russ. The team is, you know, at one point might even have an offer out there. I'm like, hey, bro, what we got going on here? So I'm just like, yo, it's a lot of info surrounding those two guys, and it's only going to continue to get louder, specifically because the combine right now, everybody is there. Agents, owners, managers, head coaches, position coaches included. So it's just a lot of information that gets exchanged at the combine. And obviously with the new league year coming up in about 2 weeks, that's the other point of emphasis because now contracts officially expire and not everybody waits till that day to first pick up the phone and say, hey, I heard you're a free agent now. Can we talk for a little bit? Nah, they want to be ahead of the curve, man, because in order to plan, you need some of this info. So that's the part that when I'm seeing some of the Russ stuff, I'm just like, man, can we get more clarity? Because it's like, it's just a lot of just info. And I don't know all the way accurate or inaccurate because of how it's framed. And some of it does seem legit. But at the same time, it's like, man, I can understand the sides of either party, the sides that are pro Russ and that want him back and they feel good about a potential reunion with him. And then the ones that are like, man, I'm ready to go in a completely different direction. 1000% I can understand both parties, man. So we will see with that though, man. But yeah, definitely a lot of info surrounding him, man. So yeah, shout out to that situation though. But sticking with quarterbacks though, man, we have had, like I said, some of these here official combine meetings. All right, shout out to the official combine meetings. Y'all hit that like button one time for the coach. You don't forget to subscribe because, yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers did decide to meet with a quarterback. And now some of y'all might not like the quarterback. Some of y'all might love the quarterback. Y'all might have seen the quarterback on a lot of Dr. Pepper's commercial. Yeah, he plays at the University of Texas, or he used to. Talking about Quinn Ewers. Yeah, Quinn Ewers, baby. Quinn Ewers. I don't know how y'all feel about Quinn. Some people like Quinn. Some people can't stand Quinn. They be like, oh, my God, I hate Quinn Ewers. Why y'all got to talk Quinn? Heck no. I mean, he got a nice touch on the deep ball. Athletic. He got the surface. He got all the little traits you want. They do got that, but the consistency, ooh-cha. Handling the pressure, ooh-cha. Decision making, ooh-cha. Ooh-cha. So, yeah. Quinn Ewers, though, man, interesting scenario, though. Like I said, man, was the starter at Texas this past season, actually the past 2 seasons, has dealt with the Arch Manning super duper loud backup quarterback scenario as well. And, yeah, has been a Dr. Pepper Fansville staple on the commercials, man. But in terms of Quinn, Good player. Yes. Great player at this stage. No, I think he has some characteristics that could put him in that category if he could develop it and be more consistent with it. Some of the stuff I do feel it's more him trying to be spectacular versus just simply being a game manager and playing within the confines of the scheme. Part of what we say at times when people say game managers are bad, we're like, no, they're not negatives. Sometimes you just need to be a game manager, man. At quarterback, that's what you need to be at times. I think that he could work on that a little bit more. And obviously, man, I'm planning on watching a lot more film on Quinn. I just wasn't anticipating us having a meeting with Quinn. That's all, man. So when I saw his name pop up, I'm like, whoa. All right. Yeah. So now I got to go check him out. Some more, man. But they said, man, just briefly, man, I do like what he was doing at Texas, man, these past couple of seasons. Like I said, athletic, can throw, and has played on the biggest stages, man. So he does at least put you in the framework of good. But if I'm, picking between some of these dudes that have just, have been linked to us at various points throughout the college season ending, my first option as it sits today is Will Howard. I still lean heavily on him over Jackson Dart, over Jalen Milroe. All right. But, over Jalen Milroe as well, man. So that's kind of my vibe with it. But at the same time, I'm definitely open to these dudes, man. So I'm going to go watch me some more tape on Quinn Ewers and some of these other quarterbacks, man. Because, yeah, it's getting interesting. The problem is we're all waiting to see what we're about to do with Russ and Fields, all right? That will tell me a lot more on how we need to be watching these quarterbacks and what the mindset needs to be surrounding these quarterbacks, all right? Jeez. But yeah, man, I was like, Quinn Ewers, here we go. All right. Welcome to Dr. Pepper Fansville, man. Heck yeah. I like his commercials. He got some smooth commercials. I will say that. All righty. Let's see. All right. And then next thing we had was a little bit of news as it pertains to Roman Wilson. Obviously, this came from Bob Labriola. Anybody that knows Bob Labriola, that's the guy that gets to talk to Coach Tomlin before every game. Gets the one-on-one sit down. Give me all the info, Coach T, all the deep, dark secrets heading into this game. That's Bob Labriola. Bob Labriola is locked all the way in with the gang, all right? So with that, though, when you're talking about, his reports, they, to me, hold a little bit more weight. So the report that came out from Bob Labriola, he was specifically asked about Roman Wilson and, why the team didn't seem to, utilize him at any point last year, even though, he was hurt. Even when he was healthy, he never really seemed to have any type of, role per se. And basically what he said was the team did not have a high level of confidence in Roman Wilson last year. Basically, in terms of his ability to pick up the offense, that was where he really put his emphasis as it pertained to Roman Wilson's inability to get on the field. And part of that, I can understand. I do also understand how when a report like that comes out, it is very loud. It's very spicy. Why? Because it comes off as if this player, number one, is a bust. This player, number two, isn't smart enough to figure it out. Or the coaching staff needs to, figure it out as well. I think all three of those things can be true. And I think in a way, all three things are true. When we're talking about Roman Wilson, the bust element, sure, when you have a first year like how he had, that puts you closer in the category of bust than it puts you to the category of knock it out the park, steal of the draft, right? Just simple terms that way. Not saying that he's one or the other. I personally don't think it's anything. I think it's just an incomplete because you got hurt out the gate, kind of like Calvin Austin. So that was the first thought process, man. The second thing that I would say is this, in terms of him not being able to pick up the offense, man, there's a lot of dudes that, have talked about how complicated it can be to play in Arthur Smith's system, even as a wide receiver, even with it being more of a run-based attack. It's a lot of check with me at the line of scrimmage. It is a lot of you, wide receiver, and quarterback being on the same page visually without hard checks. One route has 3 different options off of it solely based on the alignment and depth of the defensive back. When you're, quarterback and you're working with the guy that you've worked with for a long time, you guys are, have a nice synergy. So you see that DB playing off coverage. He already knows, man, this is a stop route. That DB is off coverage, but slightly inside. It's an out route. That DB is pressed up with inside leverage. We're going vertical, right? Just 3 different type options, hypotheticals, of course, just like that. Now you get in a scenario and you get this young kid and he doesn't understand that, and he doesn't pick it up fast enough that you can put him out there in real game situations where blitzes are coming, dudes are getting beat, everything is happening, and it's like, play at your best, high level, get open. I need to get you the ball right now, and don't forget to catch it. Yeah, that's a lot. And not everybody is capable of picking that up, especially when you talk about the amount of time that Roman had missed due to some of the injuries that he has sustained as well in training camp and earlier in the season. So with that also being at play, that's the part where I'm like, yeah, I can understand. First year you treat it like it's a red shirt. It's a dud of a year. You've been hurt too much. Unfortunately, man, you're not able to get on this moving train. It is what it is. We saw how Calvin Austin was able to come back, and we love what we've been seeing from Calvin Austin. So I think of Roman Wilson very similarly that way. But then the other side I will say from a coaching standpoint is this, man. Yeah, for the coach, you don't get to go out there, but at the same time, it is your job to prepare these guys to the best of their ability, to the best of your ability, and to get the most out of these players. And if this player is struggling to grasp it, you as the coach have to take more accountability to find ways to help this player receive that information and apply that information at a high manner. Now, the problem is also this: that player still has to go out there and execute it. You can talk to you blue in the face, talk about every X and O. He still has to go out there and do it. And that's the part where you already know how I feel when it comes to that. I'm like, yo, it's on the player. But coach still has a role, and coach still matters. And I'm talking about wide receiver coach, offense coordinator as well, man, because those are the guys that have direct impact on the wide receiver and on, his role in production or lack thereof. So that's kind of how I see it with Roman, man. But man, if I'm one of those dudes, man, that's in his ear, I'm telling him, bro, keep your head up, man. Everybody has adversity. Everybody, if you play this game long enough, you're going to have some moments where you feel like it's about to be over. And Lord willing, man, you play long enough that you get to look back on that moment and say, y'all thought y'all had me. You thought this was the day that you were going to release off the Moats, but you didn't get me that year either. All right. So, yeah, treat it like that, man. But shout out to Roman Wilson, though, man. But like I said, man, it's definitely a challenge, though, man. Whenever you're a young player, man, drafted guy, you're going to have expectations. You're going to have a lot of people just hopeful that you can be a part of the reason why we get back to winning playoff games, why we get back to the Super Bowl, why we win us a Lombardi again. So with that, man, those expectations sometimes can be a lot. And unfortunately for Roman, when you come out and you get the injuries the way that he did, it's like, dang, going, man. Like, it puts you at a little bit of a disadvantage, right or wrong, right? Not saying that he deserved to, be viewed at how he's viewed, but when you're drafted where you're drafted, 3rd round guy, along with coming off of being a national champion at Michigan, yeah, we're going to have expectations that you should be able to come in here. And remember, people were saying, yo, he's an instant upgrade over Deontay Johnson. And it's like, bro, it's the reason why I say what I say about some of these players, because these professional players are professionals for a reason. Regardless of what we might be hopeful of or what we might say out of spite and emotion, those feelings don't change actual production at this level. And that's the part for Roman that he's going to have to get in the lab and just make sure that he fine-tunes his craft, stays healthy, and hits the ground running. Because once you drop that first year to injury or bad play, the clock is ticking faster in year 2, because now there's a sense of urgency from the organization to figure out, did we make a mistake or are we going to be all right? Because if we made a mistake, we don't want to keep waiting. We want to go ahead and change that and get it rectified now. But if it just took you a little bit of time, well, hey, that's all you had to say. All right. So that's what we got to figure out real quick with Roman. But it's going to be interesting, man, with him, man, as he continues this offseason, man, because, yeah, you heard how we've been talking. Wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. All right. It's all funny games. So you actually go get that wide receiver. You draft that one. Now we start looking at that room, and it's like, okay, we're starting to get a little crowd all of a sudden. We're going to bring something else in here. Oh, all right. Now we got that, and that. Oh, all right. And now it gets weird. So for Roman, get right, speed of recovery, but you got to hit the ground running, man. Clock is ticking, baby. Clock is ticking. All righty. All righty. Shout out to the Combine guys, though, man, and everything that is taking place over there. And if y'all are digging how we doing it on this here Thursday, hit the like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe either if you are new to the channel. And I do see y'all in here with the supers as well, man. From the heart, you know your boy appreciates that. I totally forgot too, man. It's the 4 o'clock time. We back at the OG spot today. That's what's going on. I was like, yo, y'all active in here today, man. I'm peeping y'all. I was like, yo, shout out. But that's what it was. See, Monday and Wednesdays on the 8 p.m. vibe. We late night it, all right? We'll actually start next week. We 8:15. Told you I'm on dad vibes. I'm retired / vacay mode since I've talked to wifey earlier this week. I've told y'all that. Okay. So that's probably going to be my energy for the next like 3 weeks, maybe longer. Haven't decided yet, but I'm for certain on just vacay, retirement, certified level boy with the wifey and family vibes. All right. So that's what I'm on right now. But we do got to get this off. We got to get this content, man. We got to have fun with this thing, man. It's the black and go away. Y'all know that. So let's keep it going. And David Decker, I blame him as well. David Decker said he blames Coach Tomlin for making me go solo. I blame him too, but I blame him in a positive way. Because I told y'all, man, I be over here now cutting up. I be like, hey, all right, now I'm going to start when I want to start. I'm out when I want to be out. I'm talking about what I want to talk about. And it is what it is. So shout out to that, man. So I do like that, man. And like I said, man, there are pros and cons to every scenario, man. But yeah. I'll be over here vibing out. I'll be like, hey, man, all right. I can get a hard get out of this time. I'm sugar kissing on mama at the late time. All right, you know what I'm saying? Can't wait to see baby. But anywho, let me stay focused. All right, y'all can see certified level weight, man. I'm trying to stay focused. All right, let me stay here. Let me be present. Be where my feet are. All right. Jeez, be where my feet are. Shout out to y'all, though, man. Shout out to y'all. Farron Bradford says the TCU wide receiver, Savion Williams, to me, is better at running back. Do you think he would be open to the switch? I don't know if it's a slap in the face for players. Man, that's a good question. I am familiar with Savion Williams, and I do see what you see in terms of why it would be at least interesting from a team's standpoint to potentially flirt with him at a different spot. You see guys like Deebo Samuels and how they've been able to kind of utilize their dual position flexibility. Obviously, Cordell Patterson is a guy that was a former first-round wide receiver that has now, essentially fully transitioned to a running back. And those are just a couple of guys to name a few, man. But is it a slap in the face? I don't necessarily feel like it's a slap in the face to non-quarterbacks. I feel like quarterbacks is different. Non-quarterbacks, nah, I don't think it's all the way a slap in the face. I think that it's more of a mentality question, though, because going from wide receiver where it's not always predicated on physicality, and in fact, sometimes we say that they're the prima donnas, right? You can't touch them. Don't breathe on them, to running back, whereas, that's the car crash every play. Even when you don't get the ball, you got guys like me on defense trying to hit you anyways. All right. So with that, it's like, man, not every wide receiver is built to play running back. Not every wide receiver can take the load of the hits and then trying to have ball security, flexible in terms of staying available from a health standpoint. It's a lot of nuance that kind of goes into that switch. And then when you get to the contractual part of it, we obviously hear how we talk about running backs. You don't pay running backs. You don't draft running backs in the first round, but you definitely don't pay running backs because you can easily replace them, right? Cheap labor, you don't matter. But we're going to use you a ton. versus wide receiver, where you can be average at wide receiver and you're going to get paid like an elite running back. Heck, you could just be good. You ain't got to be great, just be good. And you going to break the bank at wide receiver in comparison to what a running back would have made, right? And that's the part where, yeah, if you're a wide receiver and the team is talking about switching to playing running back, you're thinking about all of that. And I don't know how Savion as an individual might feel or not feel about that, but I do feel that non-quarterback positions, typically you're a lot more open to the position switch. I know for me, I was coming out as a DN, 4-3, hand in the ground guy, Buffalo specifically. Will you play off-ball linebacker? Let alone that, it was like, will you play the Mike in a 3-4 defense? And yeah, you can sit here and be like, man, I rushed the passer. This is what I do. Like, I ain't got time to be dropping into coverage. Or you can say, yeah, man, I'll learn it. I'll figure it out, because you want the opportunity and you want to do whatever it takes to get on that field. And also it's going to help you just grow as a player, because you're going to learn so much more from the challenges. That was, my mindset. That was how I attacked it. But like I said, not everybody attacks it that way. Some guys will say, man, no, this is all I play. I'm not interested in that. But we see a lot of times, heck, even last year, Ryan Watts drafted him as a corner. By the time training camp hit, he was playing safety. So it's common. It happens a lot, man. So that's the part that we will see, in terms of if a guy like Savion would be open to a position switch. But no, I don't personally think that, he would view that as disrespect. I just think that when you're talking about quarterbacks, because their whole life is like, nah, man, I'll throw the football. You telling me I can't throw it? Like, no, running back from wide receiver. You like, hey, bro, you still getting the rock. You still running. You still look good. The only thing is just where you're getting the ball at and how you're going about getting it. Whereas quarterback, that's the leader. That's the CEO. We basically taking you out the driver's seat and saying, hey, you better off in the back. You know what I mean? You better off over there. It's like, nah, man, that don't hit the same. So that's the thing. Like I said, that for quarterbacks, I could definitely understand why they aren't open to those switches as frequently, man. All righty. Man, these big boy combine cats, man, they moving out here today, man. They moving. I'm liking it. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I said, man, shoot. Big Deion Walker up here from Kentucky. That was definitely one of them dudes that I was over here. Like, yeah, we might have some eyes on him, man. Big body, could play that nose tackle position, man. Could never have enough big body interior D lineman. All right, so just throwing it out there, man. Shout out to Deion Walker, though. Like what I see. Big Talik Williams. Y'all know I'm a fan of Big Talik Williams. I think I done talked about him about 3-4 times on the show, man. Watching him change direction, I'm like, yeah, let me see the big man run. Let me see you lower your center of gravity. Let me see your pad level, man. You change of direction. I want to see all of that. Yeah, I like it, man. I like what I'm saying from these big dudes up front, man. The D-line boys, man. Shout out to them cats, man. Heck yeah. All righty. Let's see. Got a couple of supers popped up. So let's get to the supers. Shout out to the gang and shout out to the love and the support too, man. You know your boy appreciate you from the heart. Flow Grown 420 says, I don't understand the hate for Russ. We didn't bring him in to be Superman. Our O-line and run game forced him into some messed up situations. I mean, I agree with you on that. I think that's the context when you talk about Russ. If you want to talk with emotion, it's easy to throw everything that happened negatively on him and make him the scapegoat. But it is not going to change your overall trajectory next season if that's the approach you take. You do have some stuff that you got to improve upon. O-line wise, you need more consistency. We're hoping that we're getting an upgrade at left tackle with Broderick making the switch there now. But we also have been saying, and this was going into the season, I've been on it. You need a receiver. You need more help out there. We tried the experiment of, roll with the gang, and we saw what we got because of that. But to me, man, I feel like you do have to go add to that room, whether it's in draft or free agency. Figure it out. We got cash and we got picks. So we got both options on the table, man. But I would agree, man. If you're asking Russ to be Superman, even last year, let alone this year, you're going to be let down. You're going to feel like he did not do enough. But that's the same for a lot of these quarterbacks out here. If you're going to ask them to be Superman at this stage, there's only a handful of guys that can be Superman. And even with the Superman types, we're seeing where even they need help. They need elite running games or high level playmakers around them to help them be the people they want to be, man. So with that, yeah, with Russ, man, I do feel like at times the hate for him is a little bit over the top, but I understand it. We live with emotion and those feelings come out and we can't channel them and tell them, hey, this is the only way to project and this is the only way to speak on these players. So it comes with the territory. But what I will say with Russ is this, man, I love how he's been handling all of it. The positive highs and the negative lows, he's even killed. He stays that way because he understands how quickly fans will turn. The same ones that talk about how much they hate him, he sucks and this and that, will be the same ones talking about how great he is if he comes out and he's lighting it up like he's capable of doing. And that's the part as players that we just understand and we just, we don't like it, but we accept it. So it's just like, all right, fans are going to do this. You just got to stay here the whole time, man. Stay working. Don't allow the highs or the lows to dictate your preparation and dictate your level of commitment to your craft. So as long as you can stay locked in like that, which Russ has done an exceptional job of throughout his career, let alone this past year, where you saw him banged up in training camp and all the reports were starting to shift to everybody loving Justin Fields, first 6 games, etc. He plays how he plays. Russ plays how he plays. Then how the end of the season goes. He's still been the steady Eddie in terms of his messaging, in terms of his overall engagement, and his just, like I said, his energy and commitment to the squad. So that's stuff that I like about him, man. But I do understand, man, that sometimes people, man, they need somebody to put in the crosshairs of those emotions. And when they're not getting the desired results, at times that person is Mr. Rooney that's in the crosshairs. At times it's Coach Tomlin that's in the crosshairs. At other times it's Arthur Smith in the crosshairs. It's Terrell Lawson in the crosshairs. But yeah, Russ gets in the crosshairs on occasion as well. And that is also why people react the way that they do as it pertains to him or even the thought of him. But there is a lot of context into why the season went the way that it did down the stretch, from personnel, from availability, from health, from scheduling. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Coaching decisions. Yeah, it's a lot that goes into that, but it's not an excuse, but that's the context part for the professional people. You know what I mean? It's like, we're able to operate with a little bit less emotion and just more from a just pros, cons, analytical standpoint. And that part, it is a little bit more beneficial to view Russ that way, man. But could definitely understand it, man. Could definitely understand it. Then we got the homie S. Dresden. He says, but Moats, you played for Coach LeBeau and you were awful. Who brought you in? Hey, man, I'm just glad you did a super on it, baby. Shout out to you. Yeah. Shout out. But let's get it. All righty. Anywho, let's get to this here mock draft. Hey. Oh, there it is. And there it is. All righty. And y'all hit that like button one time for the culture on the front end. And don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel, baby. Time to talk a little mock draft, man. We're gonna hit this first round situation. All right. Shout out to the situations out there as well. I like it. Hey, yeah, Robert Bennett. Hey, whenever they pay the hate, I'm like, hey, shout out, man. I read it off and just keep on moving, man. But hey, I like as long as you pay the money, man. Pay your money, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's get it. All righty. So as I'm currently sitting here, I do have up the PFF. Gotta have up the PFF simulated mock draft simulator. All right. So for me, man, I'm only gonna do one round. Do the first round today. It just sounds like our intro to this thing, man. And then obviously, I know y'all are gonna be starting to send your mock drafts in today and going forward is the time. All right. moatswinners@gmail.com is where to send those mocks in. Prefer PFF because it's smooth, it's clean, and it's easier to read. But we know everybody sends them how they do differently, but we prefer PFF. All right. And it's free up there. All right. But yeah, man, send your mock drafts in because, yeah, it's mock draft season now, baby. All right. So with that being the case, man, as I currently sit here, like I said, man, I am going to do just the first round. I'm going to slow the speed down a little bit just so we can, go through and actually, I'm going to keep it a little fast. I go through and see, some notables, who got, who's going where, how the board is playing out. But with the settings, I can do it, all the way on the public side versus the PFF board side in the terms of relevancy for the decision making. So for this to be the first one, I will lean a little bit more on the PFF side. All right. Since it is their platform, pay some respects to the homies over there. All right. Care for positional value. I'm going to put that a little bit lower. Just in the sense of, I want to see if you're a dope player, man, go get that player. All right. That's kind of my mindset with this. And then drafting for needs, I'm going to bump that up a little bit higher. Okay. Because I do feel like, I don't want you just going out here and just grab people, man. All right. Go draft somebody that you actually need, somebody that actually makes sense to you. And then randomness, it's a little low. So I'm going to actually bump that up to slightly under midway. All right. So that's kind of my energy with the settings on this here PFF mock draft simulator. So now let's go ahead and hop into this thing. All right. And let's see how the board is playing out. Let's see. Don't want to do any trades on the front end. We're going to stay at that 21 spot. All righty. So we're letting that thing cook up. Alrighty. So here we go. Let's get a little quick recap on how the first round has went thus far. Number one overall on the mock draft, Travis Hunter. All right, I would say no surprise there, but I guess that is a surprise because people have been mocking Abdul Carter to the Titans, man. So shout out to Travis Hunter being the first guy off the board. Then at number 2, they had Cam Ward going to the Cleveland Browns. That would be interesting. We don't mind hunting Cam Ward if he wants to go to Cleveland. We ain't got no problem hunting you down over there. All right. We got some TJs, some Highsmiths, and some Herbigs. They quarterback getters. All right. They go get them dudes. So shout out. All right. Number 3 went Will Campbell to the Giants. Number 4, Teteroy McMillan. T-Mac, man, they ain't got him going past New England. I'm like, man, can he slide just a little bit? Dang, going. Oh, number 5, Mason Graham. Yeah, we talked about him with TJ last night, or with TG last night. Yeah, Mason Graham, one of the ones, man. If he drop out the top 5, you better go get that. All right, number 6, Abdul Carter from Penn State went to the Raiders. Then at number 7, Shador Sanders, the QB from Colorado, went to the Jets. James Pierce, the edge rusher out of Tennessee, went to Carolina at 8. At 9, Jahdae Barron, the corner out of Texas, went to the Saints. At number 10, Tyler Warren out of Penn State, the tight end from there, went to the Chicago Bears in this here mock draft. Then from there, Kenneth Graham went to the Niners at 11. He was the interior D lineman from Michigan. Then we got back-to-back Michigan guys. Will Johnson, the corner, went to Dallas at 12. Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall, went to the Dolphins at 13. Ashton Genty, the running back out of Boise, went to the Colts at 14. A little bit interesting there, obviously, with them already having Jonathan Taylor, but could never have enough, I guess, high-level runners of the football. Number 15, Jahad Campbell, the linebacker from Bama, going to Atlanta. At 16, Luther Burden, the third wide receiver from Mizzou, went to the Cardinals. Then at 17, they going Cincinnati Bengals, then took one of our guys, Walter Nolan, interior D lineman from Mississippi. All right, then after that, the Seahawks went with Kelvin Banks Jr., the tackle from Texas. At number 19, the Bucks went with Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher from Texas A&M. And then at number 21, pick in front of us, the Denver Broncos went with Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia. So Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock at 21. All right. Steelers on the clock at 21. And I'm going to simply let y'all know some of the names that are up here. And I want to get your thoughts, too, in the comment section. Who y'all would pick at 21 right here, all right? So Josh Simmons, the tackle from Ohio State, is available on the board right now. Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver from Ohio State, is available on the board right now. Derek Harmon, the interior D lineman from Oregon, on the board right now. Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas, on the board right now. Omarion Hampton, running back from UNC, on the board right now. We also have, another interior D lineman, Darius Alexander, out of Toledo, on the board right now, as well as TJ Sanders, Alec Ayamanur, Talik Williams is available as well. And John Beck, the wide receiver from TCU, is also available. So let me know, man, how y'all feeling? Which way y'all saying to go? Oh, I'm seeing some Harmon. I'm seeing some Derek Harmon. Okay. I like the Derek Harmon vibes. I'm surprised y'all want to go D-line versus going wide out, though, man. Brent Fox, the Don Hefe Kwanse, got to go Egbuka. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Harmon is a freak, though. I'm with you on that, Phantom TV. I'm with you, man. Harmon can definitely go. But they saying we got to stop the run. That's what the gang is saying. The gang is saying we got to stop the run. And I'm over here like, we got to get points. We got to throw that route. We got to air it out a little bit, right? Alrighty. So as I am sitting here, man, this is a little bit tough, man, because I do feel like I'm leaning wide receiver versus D lineman based on the players, right? When you're talking Derek Harmon, when you're talking Emeka Egbuka, I do feel like those are my best two options when I look at them versus the field. Now, do I think either one of them will be available to me in the second round? Absolutely not. So I am kind of torn between those guys. And Q Vera brought up a great point. He says, Moats, put the poll in. He said, Moats, poll it up. All right. So let's put the poll in. Let's get some engagement. All right. That's what we're going to do. All right. Because we ain't got to rush right now. So let's put the poll in. I need to know at 21 which player y'all want. All right. Make sure I spell his name right. Shout out to PFF and this here mock that they got going on right now. Derek Harmon from Oregon, or Emeka Egbuka, OHIO. All right. And we'll do a quick version of this, okay? All righty. So the poll is in. We'll let this thing sit for like a minute or two, all right? And then we'll go from there. Ain't no pause, Rico, from the foe. Ain't no pause. You want the polls in. Ain't no pause, all right? The polls in. Get active on it today. Shout out to the lovers in the building. Oh, I see a lot of people like that Emeka Egbuka side of the poll. Not everybody on that Derek Harmon side of the poll just yet. It's all right, though. I like it. Let's get it. Man, heavy on the wide receiver right now. Jay Farrell said the poll is fire. It's not burning, though. All right, it's a clean poll. That poll, that poll get checked. That poll's a good poll like that. I don't be playing with that poll like that, all right? Yeah, but it is hot, though. It's hot right now. It's popping right now. Man, no Derek Harmon love? He only got a little bit of love right here. What's going on right now? Robert Bennett said he's torn. I'm torn, too. Trust me, I'm torn too, man. And Mike Hood, yes, in theory, we could say, yeah, Derek Harmon is more of a third round guy. The same way they say Shador Sanders is more of a second and third round guy as well. But when you're actually on that clock and you got that need and you're looking at these players, that kind of changes how you feel about them in the moment. That's all, man. That's all. So I just got to throw it in. I got to ask, you know what I'm saying? And the way the board is sitting right now based off PFF, this ain't mine. I ain't coming with this. They say they experts, so we just kind of here right now. You know what I'm saying? Rod Dollar said this poll got a happy ending this morning. Hey, shout out to the poll. Get that man, all right? That means you chose Emeka Egbuka, but it sounds like, you like the wide receiver gang. Okay. Got another minute left on the poll. Once you get to 2 minutes, I'm out, all right? I ain't no 1 minute, man, but I got you two good minutes, and after that, man, it's time to move on, all right? So we're going to find out. I mean, because Mike Hood said it, based on need, we for certain need a wide receiver. But I could also say, based on need, you seen how that playoff game went, man. Baltimore ran for about 100 yards on us, man. So I think we need a D tackle as well. I just don't know. No, Rod Dollar, it's not Emeka Egbuka. It's definitely too soon for that. We are not on an Egbuka right now, all right? We are done with that right now. Stop it. And remix, yes. For this poll, the quickie is fine. All right. We ain't got all night for y'all. All right. It's just in and out. It's been 2 minutes. All right. Shout out to John, the Jay Farrell remix. He says, I feel it. Both. Feels both of them. All right. So we're going to end the poll. I got to take it out, man. Whew. All right. I was getting a little worked up right there, but it looks like the congregation has spoken. 65% of y'all on Emeka Egbuka at pick 21. And honestly, I was feeling very similar because, like I said, I need a wide receiver. I need a playmaker, and that's been my talk all off season. And until we see some different information free agency-wise, I'm going to stick to that. Worst case, I still have my starting D-line in Larry O, Keanu Benton, and Cam Hayward. Best case, I'm going to be adding and making alterations to that room to make them better. But I don't have that same level of comfort and confidence as we currently sit today at wide receiver. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Emeka Egbuka in the first round. Shout out. And now let's see who went after him. Alrighty. Because like I said, I just took him at 21. Nick Scourton went at 22 out of Texas A&M. The edge rusher went to the Green Bay Packers. Matthew Golden. I'm torn between those two guys, low key. Emeka Egbuka and Matthew Golden. I like both, but I think both of their games are a little bit different. And when I look at what the ask was for both players, I'm torn. But I do like Emeka's size. I think he's a little bit bigger of a player. So that's also why I kind of lean a little bit more on him. But Matthew Golden, man, heck of a dude out of Texas. So he went to Green Bay at 23. Derek Harmon, dude was just talking about, he ends up going to Minnesota at 24. Armand Mimbo, the tackle from Mizzou, went to the Texans at 25. Gray Zabel, the tackle out of North Dakota State, went to the Rams at 26. Josh Connery Jr., the tackle from Oregon, went to the Ravens at 27. We obviously know Ronnie Stanley is more than likely going to be hitting the market from that side of town, man. So does make sense for them to be going ahead and replenishing that part. And then Michael Williams, the edge rusher out of Georgia, going to Detroit. Boy, they trying to, I see what y'all doing. They're going to have pass rushers up there now. Sheesh. Ooh, another running back going in the first round. We said Ashton Jeanty went 14th overall, but now at 29 overall in the PFF mock draft simulator, they have Amarion Hampton, the running back from UNC, going to the Commanders at 29 overall. All right, then at 30, the Buffalo Bills selecting Josh Simmons, the tackle from Ohio State. I don't hate it. You can always re-up the line. I don't hate it. There's definitely some other names I would have preferred, though. All right. And then at 31, the Kansas City Chiefs are taking Talik Williams, the interior D lineman that I've been talking about out of Ohio State. You know, I'm a big fan of him. And then at 32, the rich continue to get richer. You have the Philadelphia Eagles tapping in and taking Darius Alexander, the interior D lineman from Toledo, who also is a really good player. Happens to be a player that I kind of like. Definitely kind of like him, bro. So I like where we are with this thing, man. Install me out, Steelers Nation on fire, man. I ain't get all the way excited about the name for the Bills. I just got semi-excited, all right? It wasn't full on rock. It was just like, you know, it was perked up a little bit, all right? Shout out, man. But, like I said, man, we're definitely going to spin the block, though, man, and do this again in a longer version of that mock draft, man. Cause like I said, man, it was always fun, man. And also send your mock drafts. Like I said, man, I know some of y'all have already been doing that, but now it's officially time to start sending those mock drafts in. Like I said, moatswinners@gmail.com is the vibe, man. It's a great vibe too, man. All right, because like I said, man, we will be reacting to that. But like I said, for me and my mock draft, man, I ended up going with Emeka Egbuka. Shout out to him at 21 overall, and more importantly, shout out to y'all. Why? Because it was a group project, man. Y'all gave me some insight. It kind of felt like we was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I was like, let me phone a friend. So I hit y'all up. I was like, yo, how y'all feel about this? What y'all doing at 21? How you feel, huh? Which one you like? But that Matthew Golden, though, man, I like Matthew Golden. Him and Emeka, they keep going back. They flirting around the same little area. Derek Harmon in there as well, man. So respect to them dudes, man. Definitely respect to those dudes right there. All righty. Oh, man, as Dresden, he done came back. All right. Oh, man, as Dresden, you done went the cheat route. How you talk smack the first one, which 10 piece, and now you gonna come out with the $5 one to say, stop gaslighting, and your platform will exceed your expectations. Well, as Dresden, I appreciate you for your support and all of your feedback, all right? Shout out to you, baby. That's what you got to just say sometimes, man. If a person is negative, regardless of what their intent is, if they want to be funny, if they want to be serious, or if they want to be whatever, you just wish you nothing but the best. Oh, boy. Y'all with you, Robert Bennett. Hey, my boy got all the answers, man. Shout out. I'll be over here like, hey, man, I don't be knowing how you care about anything that much. I ain't got a lot to be making me feel like that, man. I'm just... But, hey, man, to each their own, baby. All righty. Let me get this last thing. Let's see. Well, actually, think we on the back end. All right, perfect. So, yeah, I ain't gonna let the haters mess up the party, because that's what you could do. You could just hit him with the cop like, hey, man, since S. Dredger, he said something that wasn't so nice, he hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go home now. I'm gonna get off the stream. I'm gonna go talk to wifey. You know, I could hit y'all with that, but I ain't even all that energy, man. Not yet, at least. So what we are gonna do is keep the party rolling, and we're gonna open up these phone lines for just a few. All right, because like I said, man, we have been getting a lot of different information, man, different reports about the different players, right, that we have been linked to, man, or having interest in, and I've talked about them a lot, man. Daniel Jones, Nick Chubb as well, but I do want to kind of get your thoughts on those guys, man. What's your interest level in Daniel Jones, man? Because that has still not went away just yet either, unfortunately. Along with how we feeling about Nick Chubb, who this week, like I said, man, had a lot of interest popping up neutrally that, from the Steelers side, that they would be, intrigued and potentially doing business with Nick Chubb, man. So we will obviously talk about all of that. But yeah, man, you hurt my feelings, man. I'm just so sad. I'm just gonna cry. When they say you gonna cry, I'm gonna go cry in the rain. I'm just gonna cry in the whip, man. All right. But y'all already know the drill, man. Hit the like button one time for the coach. And don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. The digits to dial, I'm gonna tell you now, are 412-346-6955. Once again, the digits to dial are 412-346-6955. Let's get this thing active. And if I have this thing set up the right way, it should be me having to call y'all back, all right? Because y'all know how that joint be acting sometimes, man. Making me call y'all back, and I'll be like, dang, man, why y'all want to hate on me like that, man? Don't hate on a player today. All righty. So let's get this rolling. All right. Call this one, and let's see who we got. All right, because I see you calling. Whoever you are, you're calling right now. I see you calling, so we're going to call you back. Let's see who we on the hotline with. Moment of truth.
Yo.
Hello. Who I'm on the hotline with? I seen you call me.
What's up, Moats? This is Steelers Dude 18. How we doing?
Man, let's get it, Steelers Dude 18. first off, man, shout out to you rocking off with the show. Appreciate you from the heart. And I see you were calling from. Where you calling from? Is that a 716 I seen?
Man, you know it's Buffalo, New
Hey,
York, baby.
shout out,
Yes,
shout
sir,
out.
yes,
Let's get it, man. Salute to you, man, being up in the rough buff. But
Man, it's cold over here, Moats, but we surviving.
hey, salute, man. I heard you had a little heat wave up there. It was about 25, 30 degrees, man. Come on now.
Man, we got 30 today, man. I had my T-shirt on. We were rocking out.
Love that
Come on
right
now.
there. Love that. Let's get it, man.
Sure.
So let's talk about it, man. How you feeling about this Daniel Jones interest that we have heard about earlier this week, man? A mutual interest is how they were referring to it as well, man. But what's your thoughts on Daniel Jones, man, from the Steelers' perspective and your overall interest level in him?
Man, so I would take Daniel Jones as a number 2 quarterback. I think he's got upside, I think he's got, the size and the talent to be, a potential number 1. He just, like you always say, Most, he's not consistent.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't play consistently, man, and that's what we need in a QB1 right now. We've had plenty of inconsistency the last couple of years.
Hey, why you got to say plenty?
We need something consistent, man. I like him as a 2, though. I'd bring him in the room.
All right, I like that. I mean, and we've seen the number 2 quarterback matters a lot. Sam Darnold, nobody was really talking about signing him as a starter a year ago, but you look at what he did as the number 2 QB and how it shifted the narrative on him. So with a dude like Daniel Jones, signing in as that number 2 guy, it does give you that same type of opportunity to kind of follow that trajectory. So I do like your mindset on it. I like your mindset. The next one I got to ask you about then, though, is what about that running back situation? I mean, I know we hit or miss with Najee and everything, but there is a Nick Chubb that the Steelers have reported interest in. How you feeling about that one?
Man, so I love Nick Chubb, man. I mean, obviously he's a Cleveland Brown or former Cleveland Brown, so it's a little different. But I love him as a player, man. I think he could definitely be a great combo with Jaylen Warren if it was him and Warren. But I do think they need a committee for sure, just because. I mean, was he a proven commodity? Yes. I mean, obviously you could still call him that, but the last couple seasons, we just haven't been able to see it due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you gotta have him in a committee with Jaylen Warren and then a drafted back in like the 3rd or 4th round. So I think he could be a playmaker for sure for us if he can stay healthy.
I like it, man. I like it. We'll steal this dude 18. I got one final one before you get up out of here, all right? TJ Watt contract extension. You down for that or you not down for that?
Man, I mean, I feel like he's a legacy dude. Like, I want him to be. He's got to show up this year for sure. And he did in other ways other than sacks, all the forced fumbles. Like, he wasn't, no slouch.
Did you just say he showed up in other ways?
Running.
You say it's like,
right.
yo, she ain't cute in the face, but she do a lot of other things really good. All right, she cooks. She shows up all the time.
You know what it is, bro.
Oh
Absolutely, man. But nah, you knew, man. That dude was getting the ball on the ground, man. That dude was making tackles in the backfield. The sacks weren't where they usually are, man. But I think he'll get back on on the horse this year. I think that they might move him around a little bit, give him some opportunities to maybe make plays elsewhere other than just on that left side. So I got big hopes for TJ. I think they should probably extend him. I think it'll save us some room on the cap too. Be able to sign some more players as well to help our team out this year. And if you're gonna keep him on the team anyways, which I mean, I see no indication that they're gonna move on from TJ. Like,
yeah.
Why not extend him? It makes sense.
Nah, respect on that right there, man. Respect on that. Hey, I appreciate the heck out you rocking out, man. All right. So Steelers dude 18. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe out there. All right. But definitely appreciate you rocking out with me today, man.
Hey, I appreciate you most, and I appreciate the chat. You guys are the life of this thing.
Hey, big facts. Big facts. Shout out right there, man. Shout out to Steelers Dude 18, man. All right. Like I said, phone lines are open. Hit me up on the hotline. 412-346-6955. Join the convo, man. Join the convo. Let's see how you feeling about Danny Dimes. How you feeling about Nick Chubb? How you feeling about this contract? Somebody call and let me call him back. Somebody call and let me call him back. Let's see who this is. Let's see who we on the phone with. Come on, pick up the phone. Your phone.
Yo, peace.
Oh, say less. This gots to be Rod Dollar. This guy's.
Yes,
Am I right? Am I right? That's all I'm saying. Am I right? It's
What's going on?
There it is. Come on, man. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm all right. I'm already making it through this Friday Junior, man.
Hey, salute the
Friday
Friday
Eve, whatever you wanna
Juniors,
call it.
man. Salute to the Friday Juniors out here, man. And as always, you know I appreciate you taking some time to jump on the call with me, Rod Dollars. Let's get it. How you feeling about Daniel Jones? They said it's mutual. Not just we, not just he. It's mutual interest. Steelers, Danny Dimes, what's your energy?
Man, I at first I was like, ugh. When I first heard it, I was like, yeah, what are we doing, man? Let's just close our eyes and just feel our way to the draft at this point, man. Like, come on. But no, I slept on it, and today I like it. I like it for the simple fact that we going for the first time in some seasons, you know, since Ben left. Really since Kenny left, we going like young. I mean, we talking young. You feel me? Like, besides Justin Fields, but I wouldn't consider Justin Fields that
He's still
young,
on the younger side. Yeah, I'm with you.
But yeah, I like it because we're going young. But on the same note, we got to bring something else in too. Like, we can't just be like, this the guy. This is the guy that's gonna lead us. Nah.
Would you be open to him competing with Justin Fields?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
I think that'll light a fire under Justin Fields. Believe it or not.
Because that's the one low key that I look at it that way. I'm like, I don't want Daniel Jones to be my guy, but if he's my guy because he beats out Justin Fields, okay. But I don't think that he beats out Justin Fields. I think that, like you said, it lights that fire and makes Fields elevate to what we think he's truly capable of being, you know?
Yeah, when I look at it, when I think of Justin Fields, he comes off to me as one of these players like, y'all think I can't beat out this dude? Watch this.
I would agree. Now,
you know?
Now, are there any concerns though that if you bring in Danny Dimes, that makes Fields say I'ma holler at y'all, and he go ahead and hit it on this, and you know, go to like a New York or one of these other teams that's looking for quarterbacks? Are there any concerns with that surrounding Danny Dimes though?
It is some concerns because if I'm Justin Fields, I'm looking at it like, all right, this competition, but what these 31 other teams
you so sad, like,
here, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if I ain't gotta go into it and compete and get paid,
you know what I'm saying?
Why would I? You know,
sometimes the easier path, it ain't got to be the wrong path. It's just an easier path. It's like, hey, I'm trying to be QB1. If I can do it over here, get more money and less headache, why? And then I do that?
And on the same note, I know, because I if you cut me right now, I bleed black and gold. Facts. I know we all our Steelers fans, we all feel like every year we got the team that's gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But in reality, if I'm Justin, I'm looking at the roster like, do we really? Right now?
Okay, yeah, that's legit.
No.
Now, unless he one of them dudes that says, I'm the reason, I'm the force multiplier, but that's for a different day. That's for a different day, but he could have that mindset. But I gotta ask you about another guy though, because I know you over there rocking out in, you know, the Ohio area, Mr. Sherilyn.
Yes, sir.
It happens to be a running back. Yeah, it happens to be a running back that they say, you know, it's kind of the heart of the city over there, man. The Batman of Cleveland. Nick Chubb. That's what they call that man.
More like the Robin. He more like Boy Wonder over here. He more like Boy Wonder. We all know who Batman is. We all know. That man about to leave Gotham.
I was about to say, hey, you seen it, right? He say, look, if y'all ain't about to open this bag and pay me, I'ma holler all the way at y'all guys, all right? But
no, Nick Chubb.
Yeah, we should interest level them because they say the Steelers got interest in Nick Chubb, man.
Hey, yo, if we can get a Nick Chubb and like he get over here and like blow the dust off it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like
he said he treated like an old school Nintendo game, just blow it out a little bit. Now it's good to go. It's good.
Hey, yo, if he can explode through them holes like he was doing a couple seasons ago, bring him on. But at the same time, we need something else. Even if we do got a Jalen, we need a third guy, bro.
I would agree. I think the three-piece works, and we flirted with it this year. It's just,
I mean, a legit.
They wouldn't stay
a
healthy.
Legit third piece.
Our
too,
three-piece wasn't staying healthy.
Patterson.
But
not no slow foot Patterson, bro.
What I will say is this: the execution of the deal it fell flat. But on the front end, the thought process behind Cordell as your third guy, based off what you saw in Atlanta,
it did.
It looked a lot better. It looked a lot better. On
Madden and on paper.
Yeah.
On Madden and on paper, boy, that boy looked
You
good.
catch what I'm saying? Because I was over here, I fell for it. I was hype. I'm like, I remember Cordell. He could catch, he could run, he could this, he could that. Oh, with Naj, with Warren. And yeah, I was like, bro.
Too. And even when I went to Friday Night Lights and I seen him in person, I'm like, oh man, he looked legit.
It looked the part, right? It looked real. It looked real, man.
Man, he caught that first kick return, boy. It took him about 10 seconds to get to.
He's like, hey, bro, what happened to Cordell, man? Who are you? Where is he at, bro? Where is he at? This isn't the Cordell that I've seen,
too many
man.
Flamani brothers, bro. Y'all gotta keep him out of Flamani,
No, respect on that, man. Respect. Well, last thing I got for you, Rob, before we go, man. We heard TJ Watt, they looking for contract extensions, or at least those are some of the directions that is going. Yes or no, you like it or don't like it, man? You giving him a deal or nah?
Man, do bears poop in the woods?
I see you. I see you over there.
Hey, yo. Yo, I know it's a
does the tree make any
show,
sound? Does anyone hear the tree make sound and fall in the woods? Hey, man, it really don't matter, bro. That TJ Watt we talking about, right?
Yo,
yeah, that TJ Watt, bro.
Talking about here?
That TJ Watt we talking about, man. Yeah. The question: how much does he want, and when do you want to sign?
How much do he want? That's what we. We didn't get rid of some dudes to keep him. Like, how much do you want? All right,
TJ, I'd have cleared up 60. All right, don't take all of it, please.
Because at the end of the day. Hey, yo, he didn't got us out some stadiums one too many times.
Come on, man. TJ one of them ones, man.
When it gets to this point, this is how you know he's one of them. When it gets to this point, when a player goes down, when TJ Watt gets hurt, all Steelers fans, even the players on the sideline, heads drop.
You know
we all be like,
oh Lord, it's over.
Oh man.
Lord. What we gonna do now? What are we going to do now?
So that's how we end that conversation right there.
I swear. Big facts on that. Shout out to you, man. As always, Rod Dollar, man. Appreciate you rocking out with me the way that you do, man. From the heart, man. Definitely means a lot to me, man. Stay safe out there. You know we gonna rap again, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all be good in the chat, man. Be safe, be smart.
There it is, man. Peace. Shout out right there, Rod Dollar, man. Always good chopping it up with him. Alrighty. And we do got time for one final call, man, on today's show. You already know the digits to dial, 412-346-6955. Let's get it. All right. Come on, baby. All right. I'm going to call you back. I see you calling me. Let me call you back. I don't know who this is. Nothing like a little phone roulette in the piece, though. Okay, now. And here we go.
Mr. Moats.
Talk to me, baby. Who I'm on the hotline with?
You're on with Mike Hood, man.
I know. Hey, look, when I seen the area code, I say, yo, I think that's is that the Columbus? I think it is. Maybe I could be off.
Oh yeah.
I think that is though. Shout out to Mike Hood, man. Appreciate you rocking out the way that you do from the bottom of my heart, man. Because you always tapping
Yes,
in,
sir.
man.
We
Yes,
appreciate you,
indeed.
man.
Yes, indeed. Let's get into it though,
appreciate
man.
you.
How you feeling about this Daniel Jones mutual interest that we have going on right now?
Well, I mean, you think about Fields, right? Same situation. I mean, he was in New York, didn't have a great supporting cast.
This facts.
I mean, they call him Danny Dimes for a reason, right?
This is facts.
And the
This
guy
facts.
can run.
Low
the
key,
guy can
he
run.
can. He definitely can.
So, I mean, would it be my first choice? No. But, if Fields signs elsewhere, then I would be up for it. And then if you did sign him, you'd have to look at a quarterback in the second, third round.
Okay, because I was going to ask you that. If you're signing Danny Dimes and Fields is leaving, are you content with him as QB1 without competition? Or would you go in that first round potentially to go bring you a quarterback in here to compete with him?
I'm not sure there is a quarterback that's first rounder this year.
Low key, man.
That's awful, ain't it?
In a world full of quarterbacks and quarterbacks supposed to be above everything, the fact that you're saying that and I'm with you, I'm like, yo, I agree with you, honestly. Like, yeah, it's crazy right now. It's a bad time to need a quarterback, man.
I mean, I like Will Howard. Of course, I'm a little biased.
He nice, though.
But
He
not
really-
first round.
And I don't think do you think he's there when we pick in the second?
I think he'll be there in a second.
Okay. Because that's one of the ones that I'm definitely intrigued by, man. Arm, ability to run, playing on the big stage, and handling the adversity, man. We obviously know how loud it got for those guys following that Michigan game this year, man. So I do like what you see in Will Howard. But
I mean, he's 6'4", 240.
Yeah.
He can run.
come
He
on,
ain't
man.
afraid.
He gave
He
you
put his face in the fire.
give you a little bit of that old school Big Ben on him. I'm like, all right, I can see the framework of it. I can see it. I don't know if it's that, but I can see the framework. But sticking with
developing.
but let's stick with Ohio, right? Because we know we go from Columbus and we just gonna keep going all the way down to Cleveland now. All right, and it's a little bit less glamorous, a little bit less nice over there. But they got this running back, Nick Chubb. Now I know Ohio State got two nice running backs too, but Nick Chubb, how we feeling about him? Steelers got reported interest in him. 2 years ago, he was on top of the world. It was him versus Derrick Henry as the king of running backs in the NFL. And here we are 2 years later. A lot has
That
changed.
knee exploded, bro.
It looked
You
pretty
know what I
bad.
mean?
It looked pretty bad.
That was bad.
It looked pretty
And then
bad,
the
man.
Foot,
And then he
And,
come around and
you
break
know.
the foot. Yeah.
where's he at? What year? Is he going into like year 6, year 5?
Let me actually pull that back up real quick, man, because I don't want to misquote that. Let's get the hard stats real quick on him. So, no, he is 29. Like I said, be 30 in December. Just finished up 1, 2. Yeah, so this will be going on year 8. So just finished up his 7th season. Did get 8 games in this year, though, following the exploded knee. 8 games in before breaking the foot. 100 carries, 330 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Then had an additional 5 catches on 11 targets for 31 yards and a receiving touchdown as well. So that was.
I mean, we got a 3-0 guy already. And he's consistent
This is true. This is very true.
and has been healthy.
This is also
And
very
I was
true.
listening to Omar. Omar hasn't closed the door on him.
But Omar was also kind of excited about how he was talking about them running backs. You heard his tone? It's like, man, it's like, he perked up a little bit talking about them running backs now. Yeah, I'm like, all right. Don't close the door all the way, but it sounded like you had it barely cracked open. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can get a good running back in mid to late rounds.
I would agree. Anybody that jumps off to you while we sitting here today in that running back room, draft wise. I mean, I know you got 2 of them in Ohio State. Which one you like more? Okay, I was about to say which one you like more. Yeah,
I love Henderson, man.
Okay.
I mean, he's got breakaway speed.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him block, run to the hole and just stand a linebacker up.
Absolutely.
So I'm pretty impressed with what I've seen from him. My only concern with him going in the early rounds is he was hurt, a year or two. So, but he was solid all last year, but he also had another running back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quinshon Junkins, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And Junkins is good, but he don't have the breakaway speed. He runs out of gas at about 60 yards.
Yeah, and he's a little bit smaller too, which was a little bit more like disheartening. I'm like, I want if you're not gonna have the juice, at least give me the size that you see with Travion Henderson. But it's a little bit different with that, man.
I think Henderson's a better blocker.
Yeah, I would. Like I said, I like Henderson a lot. He's on my list, man. Him or Marion Hampton. If I'm going bigger body backs, they're 1 and 2 to me, man, or 1A versus 1B. I like both of them a lot, man. All right, well, the last thing I got for you, Mike Hood, before we get up out of here, before you go, TJ Watt. They saying contract extension looming, coming soon. How you feel? You like that? You okay? That's why I needed to know. Is you paying them or no?
Of course. That's a one helmet dude, man.
No, facts on that, man. Facts. This TJ Watt we talking about, man. 100+ career sacks, future first ballot gold jacket type dude, man. Y'all know what time he is on, man. I like that right there, Mike. I like that a lot. Shout out. Hey, man, it's good as heck to talk to you, man. I'm glad that you called in today, man. Heck yeah. Shoot.
Hey, just one thing real quick.
What you got for me, man?
Shout out to all the goats, man. AJ and X-Concept and Quan, and I'm sure I missed somebody, but
hey, man, shout out to the gang, man. Absolutely, man. The Tito Good Vibes of the world, the Leah Warrens of the world, man. Heck yeah, man. The Rod Dollars of the world, man. You know it's a lot of y'all. It's a lot, but y'all make the show, man. Dudes like you, dudes like them, or the ladies as well, man. So salute to all of y'all, though, man. But definitely appreciate you, Mike, for certain, man.
Hey, we appreciate you, dude. I mean, it'd be easy for you to just run off into the sunset.
Hey, man.
Right? You
I
talked me off the cliff, man. I look at games totally different now.
No, man. Salute to you, man. Hey, look, we helping each other out there, all right? Y'all give me stuff to do, and then we educate and making it better, and all rocking out in that beautiful black and gold, man. So salute to you on that, Mike Hood. But stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend, and we gonna spin the block, baby, and do this again, all right?
Yes, sir. Peace.
Let's get it. Peace, baby. Heck yeah. Shout out to the one and only Mike Hood. Shout out to Rod Dollars. Shout out to Steelers Dude 18 as well, man. Spend a little time jumping on the phone lines with me today. And if y'all were enjoying those calls, man, hit that like button one time for the culture. And don't forget to subscribe either. If you are new to the channel, like I said, man, we open up those phone lines definitely on Thursdays of every week, or at least that's the goal going forward. We've been doing that now for, I guess, 3 weeks now. And so far so good, man. And y'all already know too, man, throughout the week, man, it could be a Monday show. Y'all mess around, phone lines popped open. I don't care. It is like that sometimes. All right, I'm going to get off what I want to get off. And then after that, man, we'll see what the congregation has to say. All right. But let's see, man, I got a couple other supers that came in here. We'll get those real quick. And then after that, I'm going to get back to being a certified lover boy, man, all right? I'm sure I got a TV show or a movie I get to watch with wifey. Yeah. Like I said, man, it's a good time. Then it's Friday Junior, baby. Got to keep the energy right. So let's see. Mike Hood, shout out for the super chat. He says, salute to you, Mr. Moats. We appreciate you, man. Shout out or salute the GOATs. I think we can get a solid D lineman in the 2nd or 3rd round this year. I'm not sure about Broderick Jones. Give Justin Fields a shot, though. And that's fair. And what he's talking about with Broderick Jones is obviously him moving to that left tackle spot. Yeah. As when me and TG were talking, we said that you got a fresh slate because you technically haven't seen him at the left tackle spot just yet. But at the same time, we have seen some bad tape from him that makes people a little bit concerned about the overall, level of play that we're going to get from him and if he can be varsity the whole time. To me personally, though, I'm erring on the side of 1st round ability, 1st round body type, and let's pray that he can hit the ground running, because he has already had in-game reps at right tackle. So it's not like this is going to be his first time ever experiencing what it's like to play out there versus some NFL speed, some NFL guys. But there is a difference when you are talking specifically about left tackle and those type of guys they typically deal with from a pass rushing standpoint. All right. But shout out. All right. Let's see the oh man, hold on. Chat jumped on me a little bit. Man, y'all in here today though, man. I like y'all in the building, man. Shout out to y'all. AJ Martinez, he says, we are 2 wide receivers away from the Super Bowl and a GP on defense. Now, you got to have a GP or a D. I already know what you're talking about, man. One of them dudes is certified crazy and an absolute goon. Yeah, I'm hoping that that's what JPJ is. I mean, at times he flirts with that, but GP is a different animal. And I'm with you on that, man. And yeah, we do want that, but that's what I'm hoping, though, man. I'm hoping that that's what my man JPJ is, because, yeah, at that position, you need goons to combat goons. All right. But in terms of the 2 wide receivers away, that's a fair assessment. I would obviously rebuttal and say the quarterback still is a big part of that conversation. But yes, wide receiver talent is going to be critical to this offense being more productive, being more explosive, because it's going to make defenses have to back off, which opens up so much more, as we've seen league wide. So that is definitely something that I would be in support of. So yeah, man. Alrighty. James Skitka. Shout out to James Skitka, man. We talked to you a couple weeks ago too, man. You called in, man. So salute to you being back in the building with the boy. And he says, Moats, I'm telling you, don't mess with D Jones. I keep getting pop-up clickbait about how the Steelers really want Justin Fields. They are just waiting for him and his camp to respond. Thank you, sir. All right. Yeah, I feel like I'm drawing up. Oh, you're talking about Daniel Jones. You're saying don't mess with Daniel Jones. All right. That makes sense. And and that's probably who you was talking about too on the other one. He says, I'm not sure about Jones, give Fields a shot. That's who you was talking about, Mike Cook, but obviously we had just talked on the phone. My bad on that one, man. So, all right, I got you now. We are all the way solid. Daniel Jones is who you're saying don't mess with. And trust me, man, I can understand it. All I will just say is this, man. I remember a year ago where they were talking about Fields in a very similar light. Don't touch him. What's the point? All he can do is run. He's a running back that plays quarterback. He can't see the field. All these other negative things that were attached to Justin Fields. And now you think about how Steeler Nation specifically talks about Justin Fields. So that is what I will say as it pertains to Daniel Jones. Yes, as it sits today, the credit doesn't look the best because, yeah, he hasn't had his chance to get the redemption arc just yet. Whereas with Justin Fields, we got a chance to see his redemption arc. When he came here in those first 6 games, that was the change of scenery for him. We're still waiting on that script for Daniel Jones. We saw it with Sam Darnold, right, in San Fran, and then obviously in Minnesota this past year. So that's the only thing that I will say with Daniel Jones that I am a little bit more open to seeing is because of that part right there. But in terms of he really wants Justin Fields, I like Justin Fields a lot as well, man. I think that he brings a ton to the table. It's just I have my concerns with the consistency of it. And when there are concerns there, I'm constantly going to be looking to either push you to either find somebody that can make you be better or find somebody that I think can be better. And that's just how I approach it. So that's when you hear me talk about some of these quarterbacks and you hear the, I guess, passion that comes out at times, it's because of that. Some of these dudes I look and I'm like, yo, I think he could push this guy. Some dudes I'm like, yo, I think he comes and I think he's better than that guy. But then there's others I'm like, I think Fields does what he's supposed to versus this guy, and it elevates him to where we want him to be. So, like I said, that's kind of how I see those dudes. That's kind of my mindset with it. But I like what you are on, man. And we will see, because the only reports we've gotten from Justin Fields' camp is that, number one, he was open to coming back to the Steelers, but he needed to have some type of guarantees or a clear pathway for him to be the starter, to be QB1 for the season. And then on top of that, he said that the Jets have interest in him and he has interest in the Jets. That's all we know right now. So, like I said, man, we'll continue to follow that situation, man. But definitely an interesting time with the quarterback room, man. AJ Martinez showing some love. He says, Mr. Hood, on the line. Let's go, brother. No, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Alrighty. And then let's see, man, we have S. Dresden spinning the block. He says, if you were Justin Fields' father, would you advise him to sign with Rooney and Tomlin? Hey, man, I'm not Justin Fields' father. So shout out, man. Shout out. Mike Hood, though, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. He says, Daniel Jones, not Broderick with the laughing emoji. No, you're absolutely right, man. That's what me, man. I totally mixed up who you were talking about, man. When you said it, baby, I was like, yeah, it's got to be Rod Jones. Maybe talking about Broderick. No, you're talking about Daniel Jones. But because we just talked on the phone, I didn't think that you was on that. So my apologies, man. My apologies, man. But let's get it. Let's get it. And David Decker, man, don't you worry about Dresden, man. Let him find his attention over there, man. You just roll with it and just ignore it, man. Tito will tell you it's a lot easier that way and more fun. I tell you that, all right? But shout out to the gang and shout out to everybody that was rocking out today as well, man. Let's get it. And David Decker, I do see you showing an update because you had your football tournament. That was this past weekend. He said, so Moats, here's the update. We took home bronze. We had a comeback down 2-0 to win 5-2 against the nice team I had played against. And the coach won New York. Oh man, the chat jumped on me. Don't you do that, chat? Don't you? Why the chat want to hate on me like that in the middle of me reading it? All right, he won the New York Coach of the Year. Dude, that's dope as heck. Let's go. Hey, let's go. I see you, David Decker. I like when you share positive energy and positive wins, man. You know, I'm saying positivity, baby. So I like your energy, man. But he says not your coach, the coach won New York Coach of the Year from the team that y'all playing against, y'all ended up beating. I do like that, man. So that's what I'm saying, man. Shout out to that, man. Shout out. That's a big accomplishment, man. It sounded like y'all was doing what y'all supposed to do out there, man. But nah, salute to you, David, and I like you following back up with that as well, man, to keep us all the way locked in. But with that being the case, man, I think that'll do it for today. It's time to go officially enjoy the weekend. So hopefully y'all enjoyed today's show. If you did, you know the drill. Hit the like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And you already know the drill, man. Appreciate you as always. Stay safe out there. And until next time, baby. Peace.